Hi everyone and welcome back to the Lewis Pickering Football Show. On today's episode is another episode of Brother v Brother. It's good to be back, isn't it?
Yeah, international break's over and we've got some crazy results to go back. I can't remember, I totally forgot these results even happened, but when we're looking back through them,
when we're going to talk about them, it'll definitely bring back the memories anyway. Yeah, so we're going to review our correct score, seeing what happened in game week 4, and then we're going to get our predictions for game week 5 underway. Right, so as always, we'll do the first 5 and then do the second 5, 10 games in the game week 4. Chelsea 2-0. I said 2-0. It was actually 4-0 to Chelsea, but great home win, 4 goals, no goals conceded. I did say I fancied Chelsea to keep their first clean sheet of the season. They did, but they went on to score a few more than I said.
I had 2-1, so I did like to say back at Chelsea win, but not as convincing as that 4-0.
Just say as well, 4-0. You think unbelievable? They're wearing that free flowing and the signings obviously take time and stuff, but they're still not free flowing.
Goal scorers, Chilwell got his first goal, which is it's great for him. Zuma got 1 and 2.
Jorginho penalties.
All these attacking players that they have signed, it still hasn't come to fruition.
Werner still again.
Yeah, still yet to score in the Premier League.
I think I'm hoping he'll come good because I like watching. I
still think the bags of potential there. I mean, it's only 4 games in, so
yeah. But that's 1 point.
1 point each.
1 point each. Yeah. And now we move on to the high flyers, Everton v Brighton. I said 3-2 Everton. It was actually 4-2 Everton.
Yeah, I said 4-1 in 93rd minute. Was it Basuma? It cost me a vital point, as you'll find out at the end. It did cost me a vital point.
But Hammers, 2 goals and an assist. Looks like the sign of the season.
It does certainly. It certainly does. Like Ancelotti just said, with that type of calibre, it doesn't matter what league, you don't lose it.
We said if he gets back, he'll be unbelievable. He's already there. He's already there.
Yeah.
Just a little shout out as well. Dominic Calvert went yet again on the score sheet, and then yet again on his England debut.
Back a hat trick, but he only got 1 this time. But you can't.
But yeah, he scored and then scored in his England debut. So fair play to him. Looks like he's looks like an absolute shoe-in for the Euros now. And that's 1 point again each.
Yeah, 1 point. Yeah.
And then we move to Ellen Road, Bielsa v Guardiola, the apprentice v the master.
Yes.
But honestly, the first 20 minutes it was all Man City, and I thought it's going to be 3 or 4-0, and it was the same with Leicester last week. I think teams are starting to see if you can hold on for the first 20-30 minutes, and then. But Rodrigo comes off the bench and gets the first goal, and then Leeds could have won it on the break in the end. I said 3-1 Man City, so that's.
We said the same on this.
3-1 Man City, but Leeds unlucky not to go on and win it, but yet again Leeds showing the deserve to be.
Resilience as well, resilience against these big teams. When they went to Liverpool, just showed the resilience.
Yeah, they look like they
belong.
They belong. I can't see any relegation or anything. They look like they'll be back for good now. So that's no points for either of us.
No points.
And then we move on to Newcastle v Burnley. I said 0-0. I said you should watch Britain's Got Talent, but I'm going to apologise. It was actually an okay game. 3-1 sounds like it was a good game. It was an okay game. Wilson scores yet again, but it's a good win for Newcastle again.
Yeah, they're picking up points. I backed a 1-1 on this one, but Steve Bruce doing the job. I did say
Burnley come out in the second half and they equalised 1-1. I thought there's only going to be one team going and win it in Burnley, but Newcastle resilient again, and Steve Bruce doesn't get the credit he deserves. But good start for Newcastle. And the last of our first 5 is Leicester v West Ham. If someone had said to me this won't be the result of the weekend, like team performance, like with 2 games scored, it'd have been absolutely crazy. But what a result for West Ham, 3-0 away at Leicester. Bearing in mind Leicester had won every game. They'd just beaten Man City and won 5-2. I just didn't see it coming. I said 3-1 Leicester, but West Ham.
Yeah, I said 2-0 Leicester, but they absolutely got bullied by this West Ham side. Like Lou said, when they went to Man City and got that win, they looked fabulous, but against this West Ham side, they got bullied and looked nothing of the sort.
Can we just say West Ham started the season getting beat at home, and Newcastle the last 2 games 4-0 at home to Wolves and 3-0 away to Leicester. Incredible. Absolutely turned a corner. David Moyes be absolutely
buzzing. A lot of doubters as well. I've seen a lot of prediction videos when me and Lou done that. Was that West Ham looking like they were going to go down for a lot of people, but quality back-to-back results.
Yeah, Bowen. Just one little shout out Jared Bowen as well. Come in last January, scored a few when they were fighting for survival, and he's started this season on fire as well. Antonio, they look like they'll push up towards mid-table. You just wanted to say about that Koufal, didn't you? The new right back.
Yeah, Koufal. Yeah.
Come in, played right wing back. Looks like a sign, and maybe want to look out for your fantasy.
Definitely.
But no points on that one for us.
No points. No.
Now let's move on to the next 5. See what scores we predicted, what happened in the games. Just do a little review and stuff. First of the game, Southampton West Brom. I said 3-1 to Southampton. It was actually 2-0. It was a comfortable result for Southampton.
I had 1-0. Back to Southampton win again, like.
Just a little shout out, Oriol Romeu outside of the box volley. Oh, what a finish! He never scores. Never ever scores. And then, how many times do you see that a player doesn't really score and then
they always score worldies?
They always score worldies. But yeah, nothing much to say. It was just a comfortable win for Southampton. But yeah, Southampton have started the season well. But yeah, let's move on to Wolves v Fulham. I said 2-0 to Wolves.
That's the 2-0.
Oh, did you?
Same score on that one.
Yeah, it was actually 1-0 to Wolves. Just a little shout out for Fulham. They've been struggling since they've come back in the Premier League. That was the best I'd seen them play. I thought they deserved some out of the game. But Pedro Neto with a great finish and Wolves get the home win. But if Fulham play like that, they'll pick up points. But it's a shame when you play well.
It's a cruel league, isn't it?
It's a cruel. I totally agree with that. It's a very, very cruel league. Fulham had chance in the first half and they can still get beat 1-0. But yeah, Wolves with the win and that's 1 point each for us. And now we move on to Arsenal v Sheffield United. It was 2-1. I actually said 2-0 to Arsenal.
Unlucky. I said 3-0. Thought it was going to be slightly more convincing.
Sheffield United with David McGoldrick late on cost me the 1 point, which was a shame. But Sheffield United could have nicked a point. But yeah, Pepe with his first Premier League goal of the season. But Arsenal with a win, and that's 1 point again for us. Yeah, and then we're going to move on to two games that
I can't even be bothered.
How long have we got? How long we allowed this video on YouTube? We'll start at Old Trafford. Man United v Tottenham. I mean, they scored after Bruno got a penalty for Man United after 45 seconds, something like that. They go 1-0 up, and then after that, just the craziest 90 minutes. I mean, it was 2-1 to Tottenham. People need to remember it was 2-1 to Tottenham before Martial got sent off, and Tottenham were all over them. The game made two good saves. They missed a chance. And then obviously once the man gets sent off, they go and punish them. But Kane, Son, and Aurier with a goal and an assist, and they score 6 at Old Trafford. Just from 6-1, same as Man City when Man City went there all them years ago. But Maguire,
we just obviously watching England game a couple of days ago as well. My God.
I honestly think since that happened in Mykonos, the trouble and stuff, his head just hasn't been right, and I think it's not his fault he goes for 80 million, but once you go for 80 million, you have to be you're going to be scrutinised, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? And he's captain for Man United, he goes and plays for England, and the more mistakes he makes, then he's going to be more nervous on the ball, and people saying he needs a timeout, but it's hard to give footballers timeout, isn't it? Like when you're captain of Man United Football Club, do you know what I mean?
Captain of Man United Football Club, it's just a crazy sentence after.
I just want a little point out Paul Pogba when his attitude's embarrassing. He gave away 2 goals against Tottenham in the second half, and he just brings nothing to the side.
I think like last season when we spoke, you had that championship form in last season, didn't it? But this fundamentally, there's still Manchester United and the Manchester United we all knew and grown up as kids, is it?
Alex Telles, very, very good left back, big improvement on Luke Shaw, but I don't know if Cavani's fit. I don't know how far away from fitness he is. He obviously scored goals wherever he's went, but we'll have to see if he can do it in the Premier League. It's hard enough coming to the Premier League, never mind when you're in your mid 30s, you know what definitely. I mean? But we'll see. So that was no points for me. Oh, sorry, I actually said 1-1, so I thought it was 1-1 at one point.
I
in the 8th minute.
It's a 2-1 Man U, which obviously it wasn't at all. No
points for us, and now we're going to move on to Villa Park. And so you're watching Man United Tottenham, and you think this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And then you move to this. It was like I said to my friend, it's Space Jam. Liverpool players have had all their talents took off them.
I just could not believe it. I literally could not believe it.
Ollie Watkins never scored a Premier League goal. Gets a Premier League hat-trick against the champions.
The best start we've seen in the last 2 years.
Grealish scores. Barkley on it. I thought Barkley, by the way, little shout out. I thought Villa were great, but Ross Barkley on his debut.
I'm so glad he's getting a run because he's struggled in and out of Chelsea.
Him, Grealish and Barkley. Watkins, Grealish and Barkley will cause teams problems, but I mean it's a freak result. It's an absolute freak result.
I'm laughing because
7-2. I said a Liverpool win, but
I said 4-1 Villa.
I said 4-1. I said in our preview. You said in our preview. I said I think Villa will keep it quite tight and it won't be too much of a.
It's a joke. If you could put a link in the description to anyone in the world that's predicted anything remotely close to that, please do.
I know. But
ridiculous.
Yeah, fair play to Villa. What a start to the season, by the way. And it's a freak result, 7-2, but they thoroughly deserve the win. And just before we move on, little shout out to Adrian. Adrian, Liverpool goalkeeper, that pass for the first goal, that's where the mistakes come from. He's got to be looking at one of the young kids to come in for me if Alisson's not fit for the derby. I'd honestly play a young kid, because every time the ball goes near him, I think something bad's going to happen.
Yeah, there's not much confidence there.
But absolute freak result, but fair play to Villa and fair play to Dean Smith. And just one more thing, Jack Grealish in Southgate for England. I know this is a Premier League, but Jack Grealish got man of the match when we won 3-0 against Wales, and then didn't get on the pitch for our next 2 games. I just don't get it.
He was absolutely level. He was just scrolling around.
He just gives you. He's that creative. He's just within a blink of an eye. He's created a goal, but like he did for the Calvert-Lewin goal. But off topic. But fair play to Villa. What a start to the season, and it'll be interesting. The derby, we'll talk about it coming up. Everton v Liverpool. But
it's also looking. I mean, before match, it's the craziest season.
Oh yeah, the craziest. Like without fans, it's an absolute goal fest.
I know.
Keep it coming. So as always, we'll do our Game Week 5 previews and score predictions. And first of all, we move on to the derby. It's the first game of the weekend. Big odds if you'd have said going into the derby, Game Week 5, Everton would be above Liverpool.
I know, and top.
And top. Great start, unbelievable. Everton have got to be full of confidence. Liverpool. Go on, I'm going for strong Liverpool. 2-1, but Everton, will they ever get a better form going into the derby?
So what are you backing?
I'm going to back 2-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to go 2-1 Everton.
Wow.
They haven't beat Liverpool in 22 games. I think they've drawn 11 and lost 11 in the last 22 Premier League fixtures. It's a long time coming, and I'm going back up your city. You're going on strength. I'm going on confidence.
Yeah.
I think confidence wins games, and we're 2-1 Everton to remain top of the Premier League.
Can they win?
Don't ask me that yet.
On to the next one. Next up, we move to Stamford Bridge and Chelsea v Southampton. Both got comfortable home wins, and both will be full of confidence. I think I'm going for Chelsea just at home. They look with Thiago Silva. I thought he had a good game last week, and Chilwell, but Chilwell might be injured again. They've signed Chilwell for a lot of money, and over the past 6 months he's had a lot of injury. But yeah, I'm going to go Chelsea 2-0. Werner? Nah, no Werner.
No Werner.
Abraham will get a goal, 2-0 Chelsea.
I've got a 5-goal thriller on my hands. That's what I'm predicting. I'm going to go 3-2 Chelsea. I think it'll be a quality game, this one. I think Ings will score one end, and I think Mason Mount will got a goal midweek for England. I think he'll get a goal as well. Yeah,
fair play. Just moving on to Mason Mount. I'm glad you've mentioned him there. I've seen people on Twitter unhappy with Mason Mount and that because of Grealish, but it's not me. I think Mason Mount's a very good player.
Yeah,
it's not Mason Mount's fault like Southgate. I think Mason Mount's very good. I do think Grealish is better, but I think every time Mason Mount's played for England, he's done well.
You can't argue with his competition.
Yeah, and he scored the winner against Belgium. So fair play to Mason Mount, and we've both gone for a Chelsea home win. Next up, we move to the Etihad, Man City v Arsenal. I mean, what Man City's going to turn up?
I know.
The great Man City for the first 20 minutes, or the team that looks like they could concede every attack that they face. With Arsenal, it'll be very, very interesting because they're a lot stronger defensively now, but I think Man City are there to be got at. I'm going to back a goal scoring thriller, 3-2 City. The only thing is, City have struggled without a main striker, but I'm going to back Raheem Sterling to step up to the plate and get a goal, and 3-2 Man City.
I backed 2-1 City, so I am going for a City win, and I'm going for the Stockport Iniesta, Phil Foden to get the winner in this game.
Next up, we move to St James's Park, the two Uniteds, Newcastle United v Man United. Do you think Maguire will start? I wonder if he'll give him a rest.
I think he might give him a rest,
But I think Man United can't have, obviously after last week, I think they have to bounce back. I just can't see anything, and I think they'll keep it quite tight. I don't see many goals in this game. 1-0 United. Tight, but 1-0 United to sneak it and try and forget the demons of last week.
Newcastle got back-to-back home wins, now looking for their third consecutive home win, and they're going to get it with me. We're going to get it. Steve Bruce to do his managerial job. Alan St Maximin to get the goal. It's going to be 1-0 to the Geordies.
Alan St Maximin, by the way, next year he'll be at a top 6 club in the Premier League or in Europe. If he he's starting to get his delivery better, honestly could go on and be what he wants.
Raw talent. I mean, you teach him to finish the final product, and you've got a world class player.
Last season it was 1-0 Matty Longstaff with his first ever goal on his first ever start. So Callum's back on the same again. But
deja vu.
Yeah, on to the next one. And now we move on to Bramall Lane. Both lost all their games this season, and we talk about 6-pointers. I mean, this is what, an 100-point. Someone that just, whoever, if anyone loses this game,
like,
I think
it's the biggest game of the weekend for their respective
Oh
clubs.
yeah,
how big it is.
Like you need to get points on the table. I mean, Sheffield United have had the harder games, to be fair, but still no points. Sheffield United was so good at home last season. I'm going to back them to get the first 3 points, but tight 1-0.
See, I've backed them to get a point each on this one. I backed them 0-0 in this nervy affair.
Yeah, I do think it's a nervy affair. Ryan Brewster maybe to get the winner, hopefully. Start scoring goals and can push Sheffield United up the table. On the next one. So now let's move on to Selhurst Park in the M23 derby. I mean, I know derbies that are right next to each other that don't have as much rivalry as this. This rivalry's come about when the fans absolutely hate each other. And it's a shame for the fans, isn't it?
Massive shame you can't be there, obviously.
Like it's this derby, you've got Everton derby, you've got the Glasgow derby.
This makes football.
This is when you start to see the difference, like, do you know what I mean? Where it's like the derby.
That's why the season's been so crazy as well. Just touching on that, with no fans, I mean, the goals have just been coming from everywhere. Because fans play such a big factor, they haven't been able to do so.
Feels like they give players the extra 10% if they're down or something. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. The fans don't like each other, so I don't want to upset any fans. I'm going to sit on the fence 1-0.
That's quality. I've gone 1-0 as well.
Oh yeah, 1-0. Both sitting on the fence 1-0. Next up, we move on to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and two teams who had unbelievable results before the international break. 6-1 away to Man United and 3-0 away to Leicester. It's just that'd probably be a result of the season, wouldn't it, for each of the two
teams?
But yeah, it's both flying. Little note on Tottenham, I feel like away from home it really, really suits them on the counter-attack. It depends. When Newcastle played them at home, they're sitting and it's sometimes hard for them to break down.
They haven't won a home game
this
season.
They haven't won a home game, Everton and Newcastle. I'm going to back them to change that. 2-0. Kane's on fire. I'm going to back him to get a penalty and score it.
Same as I will do. I think they will get their first Premier League home win of the season, but I'll back 3-1.
3-1. On the next one. Next up, we move on to the King Power, and Aston Villa must be absolutely full of confidence. I think Villa will not have wanted the international break. When you win 7-2, you just want the next game to come on, don't you? Won every game, Aston Villa. What to start? Vardy might be doubtful, and I think if Vardy's out for Leicester, it really, really impacts the way they play. I normally like Leicester at home, but Villa 3 wins out of 3. I'm going to back them to still remain unbeaten. 1-1.
Yeah, I'll back 2-0 Leicester. It's difficult because of the Liverpool game, the way they played. I just think, but Leicester had an incredible start before they got beat by West Ham. This season is just so crazy, and I've just got to go on my gut on this one. I'm backing Leicester win 2-0.
Next up, we move on to the Hawthorns, and I think, like Sheffield United, Fulham, it's a really, really 6-pointer at the bottom end of the table. A 5:30 on Monday, I've paid £15 on Sky Sports box office to watch West Brom v Burnley. I mean,
I can't imagine many people.
I mean, I don't think any team will care if they get the result, and I'm backing Burnley for a 1-0 win.
I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to bet the baggies. I'm going to get my crystal ball out on this one. Say Callum Robinson to get the only goal in this game for a 1-0 West Brom win.
Yeah, I think games like this, it doesn't matter about the performance, does it? It's about getting them points on the table. And last but not least, we move to Ellen Road. Leeds v Wolves. I think it'll be Monday night. I think it'll be a cracker. And I'm going to go for a cracker result. 2-2, plenty of goals.
Got 2-2 as well. Obviously, like I say, time and time again, we do these separate and we write them down separate, so we don't know.
We've only had 2 results the same day. We've had
a cracker 2-2.
Definitely this week as well, we won't get the same score because
we've had too many.
We've had sometimes we have a lot of similar results but have different scores. But there's a few where we've gone totally the opposite team. So, but yeah. Let's get on to how the scores are looking for next week. So after one of the craziest days the Premier League will ever see.
We'll even look you get 5 apiece.
Yeah, I think 5 points is fine. 5 points, few different. Callum keeps his 2-point lead, but like I said, next week I'm the 2 points. It'll be Callum will go higher, or I'll catch him.
I'll climb higher.
You think he'll climb higher? But yeah, this has been the Lewis Pickering Football Show. This has been Brother v Brother. We're glad to be back. Next international break, we've got a few video ideas and stuff, so we're not going to miss over a week. But yeah, this has been the Lewis Pickering Football Show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next time. Bye.